Good morning, friends, and welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Fellowship at Stony Brook. My name is Mike Hoffman, and I am happy to be serving as your worship associate this morning. I want to offer a special welcome to any of you who are visiting us for the first time today. Sorry. We're delighted to have you here with us, and we look forward to getting to know you. Please plan to stay following the service and join us as our guests for coffee hour, where you'll find lots of friendly folks to answer any questions you may have about us. Now, here are some important announcements. During the coffee hour, you're invited to accept a piece of candy from one of the children. They'll be showing off their costumes and/or masks and inviting you to say trick or treat. Enjoy. As part of our interim process, the transition team is organizing cottage meetings to give us the opportunity to meet with Pastor Madelyn in small groups. Please see the news feed for available days and times, as well as the link to sign up. And finally, our DRE, Deb Little, invites you to have a cup of coffee and some conversation immediately after the service. The children will be playing and learning until 11:45. Everyone is welcome in the RE wing after 11:45. Now we'll have the sounding of the bell, and please stay silent until the bell can no longer be heard. I invite you to rise in body or spirit and join in singing our first hymn, number 103, For All the Saints.
we all awake now? Let us enter into this space made holy by our presence. Let us enter into this hour made holy by our intention. Let us recall our ancestors. Let us enter in and let us worship together.
I've asked Laura Lesh to light our chalice this morning. We kindle the flame of our faith in the cup of our covenant. We do this today in memory of all who have gone before us.
Tomorrow is Halloween. Who's excited? Yeah, right? I know, it's so much fun. I love Halloween. I see many people here in costumes already, getting them warmed up for tomorrow and doing things for today. Do you know, I have my special, some people call these my witchy shoes. They're witchy shoes because witches are known to be very fashionable. Why do we dress up in costumes on Halloween? Why do we celebrate? Why do we go around from door to door and knock on it, and what do we say? Trick or treat. Say it again. Trick or treat. That's right. And if we don't get a treat, uh-oh. Who plays tricks? You don't have to tell me here. But why do we do this? Well, as it happens, Halloween is kind of a whole bunch of holidays from different traditions all in one. There's an ancient Celtic tradition. You know who the Celts are? They're people who came from Ireland and England and Scotland and a little bit of France. There's an ancient Celtic tradition called Samhain, which is a very important holiday. And when Christianity came to those places, Christians picked up on how important that holiday was, and they decided that this would be a good time to recognize what we call All Saints and then All Souls. And Halloween means All Hallows Eve. Wow. That's a lot to say all at once, right? All Hallows Eve. I'm going out trick-or-treating on All Hallows Eve. So what did we do? We made it shorter and we call it Halloween. That's right. And what's so important about all these holidays, about Samhain and All Saints' Day and All Souls' Day? It's the day that we especially remember our ancestors, those who have died. Now, I have to tell you that all living things die eventually. But we hope that we have nice, long, and happy lives. And then the important thing that happens when people die is we remember them. We remember what we've learned from them, and we honor their memories. Now, in the Celtic tradition of Samhain, people understood this was the time of year when we were most likely to be able to communicate with all those spirits. But some people were afraid of some of the spirits because, you know, we're all a mix of good and bad things, aren't we? We're all a mix of sometimes we do things we're very, very proud of, and sometimes we do things we're not so proud of. So to protect against the bad things, people would decorate their houses with jack-o'-lanterns and other spooky things and dress up like ghosts and witches who are magical, and to keep away the good things and to keep away the bad things and let in the good things. And in some traditions, people go to cemeteries and clean up the cemeteries and remember their ancestors that way, but I think knocking on doors and dressing in costumes and saying, what? I didn't hear that. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, you're going to need that after the service today. And saying that, I think that's a fabulous way to remember where we come from and to remember the people we used to have with us and don't have with us anymore, and to help us to learn from them and do better ourselves. I hope you have a very happy Halloween, that you get all the best candy and nobody puts a toothbrush in your bag. I hope it's so much fun, and I hope that you will have fond memories of everybody who's not with us anymore. So we're going to sing the children out today with the Reeb Children's Benediction. The words should be on the insert in your order of service. Uh-oh, are we missing the insert? Oh dear. We're going to hum along, and if you remember the words, you can sing them as the children and teachers depart for their classes. Trick or treat.
Following the spoken meditation, we will observe 1 minute of silence, followed by meditation in song. Our song today will be hymn number 123, Spirit of Life. Our spoken meditation this morning is a collection of wisdom from several sources. First, an African American proverb. If we stand tall, it is because we stand on the shoulders of many ancestors. And a Native American proverb. We do not inherit the earth from our ancestors, we borrow it from our children. Next, Benjamin E. Mays, who was a Baptist minister, civil rights leader, and president of Morehouse College, said, "We today stand on the shoulders of our predecessors who have gone before us. We, as their successors, must catch the torch of freedom and liberty passed on to us by our ancestors. We cannot lose in this battle." And finally, the light which these souls of the departed saints radiate is responsible for the progress of the world and the advancement of its peoples. They're like learners which leavens the world of being and constitute the animating force through which the arts and wonders of our world are made manifest. These souls and symbols of detachment have provided and will continue to provide the supreme moving impulse in the world of being. This is from the Baha'i Faith. Gleanings from the writings of Baha'u'llah, 81. Our reading this morning is excerpted from the book Carnival of the Spirit by Louisa Teisch, who is an internationally acclaimed storyteller, actress, teacher of African spirituality, and priestess of Ashen. Carnival of the Spirit is a book of seasonal celebrations and rites of passage grounded in African spirituality. During the Halama season, my extended family honors the ancestors with a masquerade egungun. At the masquerade, we dress up as a family member or a historical figure and portray the lives and deeds of those people in short presentations. We construct an altar to the goddess Ola and surround her with an entourage of ancestors. We make a visit to the cemetery carrying consecrated brooms. There, we pick up debris, sweep, lay flowers, and say prayers for the spirits of those who have been neglected by their descendants. We hold special ceremonies for our own ancestors, with each ceremony reflecting the descendants' cultural background: African, Native American, Latin, or pre-Christian European. These feasts include decorative altars and elaborate meals with breads corresponding to the culture being honored: pan muerto, cornbread, akara, or nigiri. These celebrations generally begin around October 18th and end on November 2nd. The Women's Society closes the festivities with a celebration of Oya, Osa Agunda, as the deer woman of Owo, a bush creature who is the mother of wealth.
So many ways to honor our ancestors, so many traditions. I wonder if any of you have heard of Wreaths Across America. Anybody ever hear some? Yeah. Wreaths Across America has its issues. But I will say that there is important honoring going on in the ceremony as well. Now, some of you know that I am a chaplain in the Civil Air Patrol. Now you know that. Civil Air Patrol is the Air Force Auxiliary, and Civil Air Patrol is usually heavily involved in Wreaths Across America. And perhaps you know that, or you may not, that I used to live in Arlington, Virginia. Wreaths Across America puts wreaths on military graves, usually around the middle of December, the second or third Sunday in December, or Saturday. And there is a special way in which this happens. Now, there are military graves all over the United States. It happens in every cemetery where there are military members buried. But I used to live in Arlington, Virginia, so guess which cemetery I would go to? Arlington National Cemetery. And that's a huge operation there. It's probably, the biggest national cemetery is here on Long Island. It's probably a huge operation there as well. And lots of volunteers come. And as a Civil Air Patrol member, we're in charge of communications. It's a very exciting job, and we often hand out wreaths to the folks who are laying the wreaths. Those of you, well, anyone who's thinking, well, that's all fine and dandy, but what about the Jews? They're instructed not to lay a wreath on any grave with a Star of David, and not to remove anything. So it's meant to be respectful. But the most important thing that happens is that everyone who's given a wreath is instructed to lay the wreath, stand back, look at the grave for a moment and say the person's name. Now, we have military graves in this country going back to the Revolutionary War. This may be the only time in a year that someone says that name out loud. Saying names is important. We recognize in every tradition that saying names and remembering people is so important. And we've known this for centuries and perhaps millennia, which is why so many traditions have holidays in which we remember. And at this time of year, we especially remember Samhain, which is a Celtic holiday, and All Saints and All Souls. Now, if you've been a Unitarian Universalist for a while, it's probably occurring to you that we have a number of congregations called, say it again? All Souls, yes. What is that all about? What is All Saints? All Saints is a day set aside to remember saints. So what is a saint? A holy person. So important people who've had a big impact, right? All Saints Day. But everyone has some kind of impact, right? Some are broad and some are small but deep. And even a shallow impact is still important. A shallow impact because some lives are cut very short, yes? So in the Christian tradition, there is a All Saints Day, November 1st, and then on November 2nd, All Souls Day, the day that we set aside to remember every single soul. Now, in our Unitarian Universalist tradition, we assert that every being has inherent worth and dignity, yes? Every person has inherent worth and dignity. So it is so important that we remember all souls, all those who went before us. In the readings that were shared in the meditation and from Carnival of the Spirit, we are reminded that all those who went before make us who we are now. For good or ill. Some of us might be carrying baggage from those who went before, and it's difficult baggage. Because as I said in the story, we're all a mix of good stuff and bad stuff. We've all done things we're very proud of and things that are not so wonderful. And so have all those who've gone before. And maybe we're carrying heavy baggage. But with time and space, it can help us to sort that out, to parse out, well, what was good? What do I need to remember? Or at the very least, well, I imagine that person who left me with heavy baggage also had heavy baggage. Perhaps I can pray now or think now, if prayer is not a word you use, that person's soul is at rest. We are, after all, Universalists, are we not? And we can learn from all those things we've inherited. All those things. Sometimes we know what we've learned right away. I frequently recall all the sayings my father taught me as a child. I knew what they were all along. He would say to me, people are always saying somebody ought to do something. Just remember, you're somebody. You can do something. I knew what that meant as I was growing up. Oh, okay. But sometimes we learn more subtle things that we haven't figured out until later on. It's important to remember those things. Sometimes we learn, from example, what not to do. Perhaps there was someone in your life no longer present who you just, that was not a good decision. That was not how to raise children, or that was not how to buy a car, or that was not a good way to handle money, or whatever you've learned. But you've learned from that. We can recall those people and give thanks for our lessons. And so, we go to the cemeteries. In some traditions, there are people who actually live in the cemeteries and care for them and make them beautiful, and the graves are decorated at certain times in the year. In some traditions, ancestors are worshipped. In some traditions, ancestors might not be worshipped but are remembered, and offerings are made to them. Has anybody been to a Buddhist temple where there have been offerings to ancestors? Yeah, I see, yes. And you know that people place food offerings and incense sticks. So what do we do here? You were invited today to bring photographs, and if you haven't placed them on the altar, there'll be a time in a little while where you're invited to bring them up and place them on the altar. We're going to remember our ancestors today. We're going to remember that where we are is because we're on their shoulders. As a culture, advancements that we've made in science, I know there are many scientists in here, right? Advancements that we make in science aren't just ex nihilo, from nothing, where one day we didn't know anything and the next day we knew everything. First of all, we don't know everything. But more important, it's because others came before and did work that we can build on. But that's true in every field, in every aspect of life. So we remember those shoulders. And we especially remember those who were close to us today. I'm going to invite you to think about the gifts that you have been given. And I'm recognizing that sometimes the gift is, I no longer have to put up with that person. I'm recognizing that. The gifts that you've been given from those who came before. What is the work that was left unfinished that is now for us to do? That we wish to build on? What are things that came before that we know better now? Because we're on those shoulders, because of the works that we keep building on. What would you like to change in the future? We can do that work while honoring the dead. We can be faithful to our heritage as we build the world that our descendants would wish to inherit from us. The world that we are borrowing from our children. Yes? Consider these things. And we're going to hear some music, and then we will move into our ritual of honoring our ancestors. Beloveds, I am so glad to see all your souls here this morning, embodied in your faces. We are building the beloved community together. One day others will stand on our shoulders. Namaste.
without you, but we could only go so far. Don't know why you chose us. Were you watching from above? Is there someone there that knows us? Said we'd give you all our love, our love. Will you laugh just like your mother? Will you sigh like your old man? Some things skip a generation, like I've heard they often can. Are you a poet or a dancer, devil or a clown, or a strange new combination of the things we've handed down? Well, I wonder what you look like. Will your hair fall down and curl? Or will you be a mama's boy or daddy's little girl? Will you be a sad reminder of what's been lost along the way? Oh, maybe you can help me find her in the things you do and say. And these things that we have given you, they are not so easily found. Oh, but you can thank us later for the things we've handed down. The things we've handed down. Well, you may not always be so grateful for the way that you were made. Maybe some feature of your father's that you'd gladly sell or trade. One day you may look at us and say that you were cursed, but over time that line has been extremely well rehearsed for our fathers and their fathers in some old and distant town, from places no one remembers come the things we've handed down. The things we've handed down. The things we've handed down. From the places no one remembers comes the things we've handed down.
Thank you. That was beautiful. Ooh. We honor our ancestors by saying their names, yeah? But also by looking at photographs and cleaning up the cemeteries, and we can't do that in here. But we are going to say names and look at pictures. Some photos are already on our altar. If you've brought a photo with you and you haven't yet placed it up here, I'm inviting you now to come up and place it on the altar. If you're at home, if you have a photo with you, I invite you to take it out and look at it, or simply to think about the person you're wishing to honor or the people you're wishing to honor. That goes for you in here as well. We're going to honor everyone whether you brought a photo or not. We have some on the side here. Nobody put a picture up here. Nobody wanted to be way up high, right? Okay. But we have some beautiful photographs here. There's a wedding photo and someone at a piano and some just fabulous, and family photos. And in all these photos, these are the faces of our ancestors. You need not have brought a photo today, or you need not have one with you at home in order to honor your ancestors. If you're at home, whether you have a photo with you or not, you're also invited to speak out the names of those you wish to remember. I invite you to put into this space the names of those you wish to remember. Just speak out their names. What a beautiful sound all those names have made. Thank you for speaking them out. These are the ancestors we remember today. May their memories be a blessing. May we carry on their legacies by our own works. I'm going to say that part again. May we carry on their legacies by our own works. Would you say with me, we remember them. We remember them. Amen.
Each Sunday, we share our plate offerings with an organization that does work in the world aligned with our principles. This is a spiritual practice. This month's Share the Plate organization is Hands Across Long Island, also known as HALI, an organization particularly close to my heart. This is a grassroots, peer-run mental health nonprofit organization founded in 1988. HALI has grown to provide a multitude of advocacy and support services for people on Long Island. It was instrumental in the formation of the first independent mental health housing programs in our region, and currently offers supported housing to over 100 people throughout Nassau and Suffolk counties. Other services include a peer recovery center, community reentry for incarcerated individuals, and homeless outreach services, including a mobile shower unit. They have recently initiated an anti-stigma project which addresses disparities that people with a serious mental illness diagnosis may face in the physical health care system, and they will be working with Stony Brook University by placing peers in the emergency room and inpatient settings. You may make your gifts on the plate or online. For those online, The link to donate is in the chat box, and the offering will now be greatly received. Please give generously.
On the song Help Somebody, if you would like to join in, basically all you have to do is echo me. We'll see how you do. So this is the practice verse. I got plenty and then some. What do I do? What do I do? Got plenty and then some, what do I do? Do I do? Got plenty and then some, do I do? What do I do? Get out and help somebody. Get plenty and then some too. Got a roof over my head. What do I do? Got a roof over my head. What do I do? Got a roof over my head. What do I do? Go out and help somebody. Get a roof over their head too. Got supper on the table. What do I do? Got supper on the table. What do I do? Got supper on the table. What do I do? Go out and help somebody. Good supper on the table too. I got to give. When you got enough to give away, it's the only way to live. I'm going to heaven. What do I do? I'm going to heaven. Yeah, what do I do? I'm going to heaven. What do I do? Go out and help somebody. Yeah, I'm gonna help somebody. Oh, I'm gonna help somebody get to heaven too.
Fabulous, yeah? Would you join me in dedicating the offering? The words are in your order of service. To the work of our faith, which is weaving a tapestry of love and action, we dedicate our lives and these, our offerings. Amen. Thank you. I invite you to rise in body or spirit and join in singing our final hymn, number 1001 in the teal hymnal, Breaths. Now we have some special instructions, yes?
Oh, yes, we do. It's a beautiful hymn and it's a complicated form. So if you would open your hymnals to 1001. Peter and I will play the first 2 pages as an introduction. And then you will join me. I'll play the melody up an octave. You will join me on page 1 at the beginning. You'll sing page 1, you'll sing page 2, and you get to the bottom and you see 3 interesting measures. It's whoosh, ah. Whoosh. Can you do that? Wish.
Whoosh.
Ah. Wish. Then we go right into verse 1. You will flip the page, continue with verse 1, continue with verse 1. You're down at the bottom, still on verse 1. And then on the 4th page, you're still on verse 1. And on the 2nd line, you're still on verse 1. But then you see a repeat sign. You flip back to the very beginning. You sing the first page, you sing the 2nd page, and you'll see whoosh, ah, whoosh, and you sing the 2nd verse. You flip the page, you sing the 3rd page, verse 2, you sing the 4th page, verse 2, and you get to that repeat sign again. You go back to the beginning, and you're going to sing the 1st page, you're going to sing the 2nd page, you get down to the whoosh, ah, and you flip to the end. And you go to the very last line. It's called the coda. And we're going to sing, we're going to whoosh, ah, whoosh, za, about 4 times. And Peter and I will bring it to a close and have fun with it. Okay. So here's the intro. This is still the intro.
You did that so well. Did you like it? Have you sung that before? Do you like it? Yeah. Sweet Honey in the Rock stuff is just fabulous, right? Oh my goodness, you did it. Should we do some more Sweet Honey in the Rock sometime? Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And what a wonderful gift all of our musicians have given us this morning. Thank you. Ah, beloveds, go in peace, go in love, surrounded by the mighty cloud of witnesses who have gone before us. Go in love, and go always in the footsteps of the holy. Amen. It is now time to extinguish our chalice flame, for our worship has ended and our service begins. Bring the bell.
A lot of you know this song also. The choir has done it, and at the end there's an off chorus, which is a compilation of the final lines on the verses, so I'll try to cue you in. It's only 2 notes to sing, so it should be easy enough. It's a long road we've set our feet upon, a long road we've set our feet upon, and with loving hearts we walk on, loving hearts we walk on. We will walk on, we will. Bridges are built with open hands. Bridges are built with open hands. And we begin to heal the world. We begin to heal the world. We will heal the world. We will. When the sun shines through all of us, there on the roads, there'll be a rainbow in front of us, wherever we go, wherever we go. Take a simple flame and pass it on. Take a simple flame and pass it on. And it's enough to light the way. It's enough to light the way. We will light the way. We will light the way. We will light the way. When the sun shines through all of us, there on the roads, there'll be a rainbow in front of us, wherever we go, wherever we go. the souls before us standing here. All the souls before us standing here. You can hear them whisper low. You can hear them whisper low. We will walk with you. We will walk with you. We will walk with you. We will light the way. We will light the way. We will light the way. We will heal the world. We will heal the world. We will heal the world. We will walk on. We